Okay. Sam, just what was your overall take on the scrimmage?
I thought our defense played much better this week, much harder. It seemed like they were in better shape than they were a week ago. Well prepared for the scrimmage, ran on and off the field, made a lot of plays, whether it be tackles for loss, causing fourth downs on 3rd and 3. A lot of turnovers for the offense, which means the defense forced them. But I thought the defense definitely won today. The only thing that they did not win was a goal line situation and a 4-minute situation. Other than that, they dominated the scrimmage.
So does that make you feel good about the defense or sort of bad about the offense? I guess it's always one way or the other.
Well, I think I've been around a long time, and you'd probably be more concerned if one side won a scrimmage every single time. A lot of times it's like in life, people pat you on the back and you get complacent. And I'm not saying that we did that on offense, but certainly we weren't the same offense that we were a week ago, nor was the defense the same a week ago. So obviously anytime you improve, you have to feel good about one side. And then is there concern about us holding on to the ball? Absolutely.
Coach.
Yeah, Coach. Kyle told us that there were 3 interceptions. Do you know which quarterbacks threw them, and how did the quarterbacks look in general?
Not good. I mean, we didn't look good today. We didn't make good decisions. We have to get better there. We have to play with more confidence. We have to protect them better. But from a week ago to this week, it just it was not acceptable play by that position, and they know it, and certainly we'll get better.
Tom.
I had a more of a big picture question. Given the totality of everything that's gone on since you've gotten this head coaching job, and the fact you're going into a season where there might be some unknowns and stuff, how do you feel about where you guys are and like where you're headed?
I'm proud of our kids. I'm proud of the quarterbacks too. I want them to play better, and so do they. But we have a long way to go, but we've come a long way as well. We've come a long way with our toughness, our execution. We've come together as a football team. Our effort is much better than what it was. Our complaining is much lower than what it was. And the bottom line, I told them after practice today that, look, we're going to end up having X number of guys that we're taking on the road or we're having at home, and whether it be from injury or whether it be from COVID situation or whether it be from something personal happened to somebody in their life and we don't have them, we're going to go play somebody. And I think we are starting to have that mentality of, look, we got enough to go out there and compete. Let's go out there and compete. And I'm proud of that. There wasn't any of that, woe is me. I'm not getting enough reps. That's just a losing mentality. And I did not see that today. Even when the offense was getting beat up, it wasn't that way.
Scotty.
Hey, Sam, I'm curious if you maybe learned anything about your linebackers group today, or do you feel better or the same as you did about that group than last week?
Well, when we go, it's usually because the D-line's becomes disruptive. I did see them guys making some plays in there. Parker, I saw make some plays. Draper seemed to play well today, and I saw JT make a few plays in there today. So, Edwards is a guy that can run. So I think they made more plays because I don't think last week, if, honestly, they know they didn't play very well. And I think they made some plays today.
Trey Biddy.
Yeah, Coach, I was wondering if there was anything maybe in pregame or maybe just during the week of practice that might have led you guys to think that maybe the defense would get the best of the offense today.
No, to be honest with you, Trey, practices haven't necessarily shown the offense as the dominant one on a regular basis. Going into last week's scrimmage, you always have your, what's going to happen here. So for the offense to do as well as they did, I'll totally honest, I was a little surprised because we hadn't necessarily done that in the practices. Well, the other thing is we hadn't tackled but one time before that. So, they obviously breaking tackles, doing some things today. Probably the most pleasing thing is how they ran to the football today. I was very excited about that. But, again, we put the ball on the ground. We gave it to them, throwing it to them, and we put the ball on the ground. You can't win. We had the first drive, we drove down to about the 9 on offense and then threw a pick, and then that's about it until we got to goal line and to the 2 minutes or 4 minute situation. And the Lightning cost us a 4 minute situation with the twos and both situations in 2 minutes. But that's a long answer, Trey. But no, I was more surprised how well the offense did last week because the defense had been playing really well and they came back this week like normally it happens. And honestly, I was hoping that they would.
Otis.
Coach, I guess this is probably the wrong week to ask this, but you talked the other day about tight ends and linebackers, being kind of a couple of positions up in the air. Did anyone at tight end do much to separate himself today?
No, I don't think so. I think we have a pretty good battle there. A lot of times you talk about a battle and that, that I don't want to get that misinterpreted that, we don't have any good players. You have a battle. A lot of times that means you have 2 or 3 good players. But I think Blaine Toll is rapidly moving up the chart there. And I know Hudson caught a pass or 2 today and different things, but that group's just got to have more physicality to it, and they know it. And so I'm not telling you anything I haven't told them. But I don't know that today, I haven't watched the tape yet. And so blocking wise, I'll have to look and see how they did there. But I do know that Hudson had a couple of catches, but I don't know how the entire group looked. I was proud of Bax during the week because he's straining. He knows how to strain. And so we'll see once I find out. Linebacker wise, I saw Draper make some plays, so hopefully it's what I saw, hopefully on tape is what I think I saw out there live.
All right, round 2. Bob.
Sam, where do you feel like you guys are after, I guess, 3 weeks? What do you need to get done these last 2 weeks going into the game? And what do you want to get done and what do you need to get done?
I still feel like next week is a big work week for us. Now we're four practices, a little bit different days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday next week. But to me, it's just very similar. And obviously we found out we got to take care of the ball better. We didn't have that problem last week, but that'll be a big emphasis. Strain will be a big emphasis. Working on Arkansas will be a big emphasis, and it all goes with our mental toughness. And are we willing to go out there when we get tired or when we get down? Are we willing to fight? And to me, that's what we have to get better at. And I think we made strides last week, but we certainly have a ways to go in that, and our kids are willing to do that. So I feel like this next week we're going to work again. We're not going to talk about Georgia. We're not going to start preparing for Georgia. It's way too early to do that, in my opinion.
Nate.
Sam, did everybody, or as far as everybody make it through the scrimmage health-wise? And also, how did the special teams, anybody kick
Yeah, I'm
particularly well?
glad you asked about the special teams. Carrington had a really, really good day. Punted well. We had a little punt competition out there, as well as a field goal competition, and he did a really good job. And we also had a couple of kickers make 52-yard field goals today, and they were both 4 out of 5, both guys. So I was really pleased with the kicking overall today. I thought it was much better than last week. So I think we got better there. And, obviously you boom one long ways or make a long field goal, it just does wonders for your confidence. And that's what we needed with all those kids.
Hutch.
Yeah, Coach. You had mentioned left guard was kind of still up in the air, and I think right tackle as well. I mean, what did you see from those positions today? Who all is working in there?
Well, we moved Latham a little bit in there today at guard. Obviously we had Clinton. Obviously we've had Clary. But we moved Latham in there today. I don't know, on the O-line, if one guy misses block, it looked terrible. He may have played really well. I don't know that one. The results weren't good, but you have to look at maybe who's the problem with the results. And I don't know how he did. I know we did play him with the ones at left guard because I think he's been playing well at tackle. I think Wagner's coming on at the other tackle. Of course, Cunningham's the other guy. So I believe Henderson had a much better scrimmage this week. So we'll find out. I don't really know yet, but to answer your question, I don't know if we're quite solid with who's going to be that guy at left guard or, for that matter, right tackle right now.
Tom.
I got a couple quick things. Did y'all go mostly ones versus ones or mix it up? How did you do that today?
We did it identical to last week where we start out ones versus twos versus ones, and then the entire rest of the scrimmage is 1-on-1, 2-on-2, and we had some threes in there as well. But the first 15 plays was 1-on-2s, then 2-on-1s for 15, and then after that, that's 30. So the rest of it, whether it's 90, 95 plays, goes 1-on-1, 2-on-2.
Because you missed some of the live tackling, you mentioned the 4-minute periods and the 2-minute, will you try to tack on maybe something during the upcoming week to make up for that on the live tackling part?
Well, we're definitely, what we're trying to do now is find out what our problem is and make an emphasis of it of the day. And so we certainly will. The tackling I was pleased with today, but the ball security, you better dang sure bet you we're going to make an emphasis on that.
Scotty.
Hey, Sam, I'm curious, what would your assessment be of your receiver position, maybe behind guys like Knox, Burks, and Woods right now?
Well, Davion Warren, Hammond, those are the guys that behind the first three that I could think of that have made plays. We're a little thin right there right now. Some of it's injury-wise as well, that we're going to get some guys back, but we're just a little thin right now. But those two guys are guys who, to me, have stuck out.
Trey Biddy.
Coach, was it the same, like 120 plays, 50 first team, 50 second team, 25-ish? Same deal. And
the same, Trey, except for we did not run last week. I think we got 24 plays with the threes, and I'm not talking about all threes. I'm saying 3-on-3, because obviously if you're close to a 2, we'll get you in with the 2s. Get you some reps in there. But You know, I know every rep that everybody's going to take before the scrimmage start and every touch that a running back's going to get. I know how many we want him to get and the whole 9 yards. But this week, you know, we didn't feel like we quite had the numbers to get all the threes out there. So they got 10 reps instead of 24.
And on Kyle mentioned a couple of explosive plays. Traylon Smith had a 40-yard catch and run and a 20-yard run, and then Dominic Johnson had a 20-yard catch from KJ and a 40-yard run. Could you just kind of tell us maybe how those plays developed? Were they tackle break? Were they bust?
It's just out in open space and making guys miss a couple of them. And then we're well blocked inside. I think one of those runs ended with a fumble, however. And then Trey Knox caught a long pass in the 4-minute and did a nice job of getting down, understanding the situation, you know. But other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of offensive highlights, you know. I think Kyle probably pretty much cleaned them all up whenever he talked to you.
Nate.
Sam, you mentioned the place kickers. What two was it? Reed and who else that you were talking about?
That guy out there. Who? Phillips, yeah. Phillips was the other one out there that got kicked. I knew who it was, and I forgot it because we've got a few kickers. But Phillips was the guy out there along with Reed, and you know, to be honest with you, 52 on both of them, on Reed and Phillips, was in a little bit of a breeze, and both of them had a little extra to go on it. So I was real happy with that.
Thanks.
We've got time for a couple more. Let me know in the chat if you've got more. Hutch.
Yeah, Sam, Levi Draper is not a guy we've heard much about this camp, but you said he had a good day today. What's his camp been like, and how have you seen him improve?
Well, he's starting to understand the defense a little bit more. You know, Coach Rhodes, a great coach. I just talked to him about, hey, man, your job as a linebacker, go make a tackle, you know, and, you know, all this spilling to spill to do this, to do that. Hey, man, tackle the guy with the ball, you know, and I thought he did that today. I think, to be honest with you, I think he's doing a lot of processing. If you're processing, you're not reacting. And in this league, if you're processing, you're getting beat. So I just think he's probably learned the offense or the defense a little bit better. Getting more comfortable.
Trey Schapp.
Coach, obviously with the ball being put on the ground, was that because it wasn't secure? Was it better tackling? What was the reason for so much of the balls coming out?
Well, obviously, if the ball's coming out and you have it secure and the ball's coming out and you feel like you're holding it high and tight, then the defense is doing an outstanding job of stripping the ball or having physical, you know, helmet on ball or whatever it may be. I don't think that was necessarily the case today. I think we were loose with the football. And honestly, we're a little nonchalant, I thought, on offense as a whole. And it showed. And so, you know how it is. You go out there and you think you're ready for something just because you can walk out on the field. Well, someone's going to figure out that you're not quite as ready as you thought you were, and that the defense did that figuring out today.
All right, 3 more. Bob.
Hey, Sam, you know, some coaching staffs, they kind of divide up special teams. Some have a coordinator. You have a coordinator. What was it about, I guess, Coach Found that made you decide to bring him with you? What kind of job do you think he's doing? And what's your philosophy on special teams as far as, you know, emphasis?
Well, first of all, I think Scott Found is as good a coordinator as there is in America, and I really do. I mean, I do. He was the first guy I offered a job to. Second of all, I mean, you can lose or win games strictly. Be even if your special teams are better than theirs, you can win it, and I believe that. And I believe that if you don't have a coordinator in charge of it, then why would you have an offensive coordinator? Just to let 4 guys go out there and figure out who's calling the plays. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Our kids need to understand how important it is. And to me, the only way you can put that down is if you've got a coordinator. You know, Scott's assistant head coach, I think a lot of him, but I also feel like he's very important. Our guys are buying in. Our kids now, they work in special teams. And I feel like we've got good punters and kickers and good returners. And I've been very pleased with Scott. And more importantly, I've been really pleased with the effort of our kids.
Back on the linebackers, you know, Grant was a middle linebacker. Bumper was weak last year, weak side. And Hayden, I think, some strong side. Are they still in those spots? And what does the depth look like that behind them? Who's playing middle? Who's playing weak?
Right now, Edwards is playing weak side linebacker. Parker's playing the middle. Draper's playing both sides. JT playing both sides. And that's what's happening.
Hey, Biddy.
I've had plenty.
Yeah, Coach. On the Knox catch, was that you said it was he got down and stuff? Was that like a situation where you're protecting the lead and
Yeah,
running out?
We were in a no-score situation, and he caught one. Basically, in no score, that means, hey, if we get the first down, we can just nil it and game be over. I don't care what the score is. We're ahead. It doesn't matter, you know. We want to win the football game and not have an opportunity for the defense of our opponent to take it away from us. So we were in a no score situation. He caught a ball. Basically, I don't know. I think he probably could have scored. Maybe, I don't know. But I do know when he caught the ball, he ran a couple strides and got down. A very, very smart play by him. And we did not do that last week in a 2-minute, and we learned from that as well. And that's coaching. That's everything. We learned as a group, and I thought that was a really smart play by him. You know, you can talk about things, but it's the action that happens in those 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds that matters, and he did a nice job with that.
All right, that's going to wrap us up. Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you, Coach.
We're going to have Jalen Cattle on first up, all right?